How's everyone doing? Hey, whoever's there, how y'all doing? You want to check in real quick? Trying to spread the word here. Okay, come on now. There we go. I'm good, Snyder. It's hot, insanely hot. My God, it's hot. Like nothing you wouldn't believe. The humidity here is insane. It's just I haven't seen for even doing it out here like this, but I don't smoke inside, so there you go. How about where you're at? Hmm? Bear with me. I'm trying to boot up Discord so I can share the link there too. Well, that ain't bad. Nothing wrong with that. No, it's probably well into the hundreds here. It's just bad. Hang on here. Discord's taking forever to boot up. I'm on a laptop, so what should I expect? So, has there been any news of anything of the paranormal that I might not know about, Mr. Snyder? No, I'm intrigued. We got some more viewers here. Cool. Still starting. That's crazy. Might have to shut Discord down and say screw it. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I don't even know if I'll be able to do this. I'm going to try to. The internet's really, really buggy at best. Might have to wait another time. Just slow. My God, it's so slow. Yeah, I hear you there. There's nothing too much that I know of has happened here, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut Discord down. It just ain't gonna work. Unless maybe I try this. Maybe I can try it this way. See what happens. I don't think it's gonna matter too much, but I can try. Hang on real quick. I'm trying to broadcast everything, or at least spread the word through, through every way that I can. I'm hoping this will work. It may not, but I can try. And once I do that, then I can really get to focus on what I'm trying to do. A few announcements I want to make. All for the most part, good news. Okay, come on. Come on. Yeah, like I said, it's coming to the point where it ain't even. I mean, honestly, I'm really. eh, I'm gonna have to end. I'm gonna have to pause this, guys. I am so sorry. Sorry about that. I had a phone call come in. It was pretty important. Yeah, I did notify Face. No, I already put out notifications through Facebook. That's already been done. Hang on. I think I can do this now. I just have to remember how to do this in the future. Hang on. There we go. Go ahead and put this address out here. Okay. Real quick. Let's see. Hang on real quick. So bear with me. I'm trying, guys. It's fighting me to the nail. It is fighting me like I have not. I don't think I've ever had it fight me. The internet is crappy. And normally it's pretty good too. So, like I said, this is the first time I've had it fight me, at least at this level. There we go. That should work. All right. So, there are a couple of announcements I wanted to make. One is I have a story in the making that I'm doing. It is called The Handlers. It is pretty much about a group of individuals who are, how can I say it's the best way? When there is a supernatural threat, these individuals themselves are not exactly human, but they get together. They're gathered together by very powerful individuals who are concerned about the welfare of certain situations. They come in and these guys handle the problem. That's why it's called the handlers. Kind of a paramilitary kind of thing. I plan on releasing this soon. I'm not even done recording it yet. I wanted to put that out there because I figured there may be something you guys enjoy or will enjoy. That's one thing. Also, uh, things are going pretty good with me. I appreciate the prayers that have been sent my cousin's way. That's who is in the hospital right now. I've had some many well wishes, and I thank y'all for that a lot. Believe me, I appreciate that more than you can imagine. So, I said I plan on releasing more content, a lot more content quite soon. But also, I want to know what you guys are wanting me to put out. What exactly are you guys? What are y'all wanting? What are y'all? I'm saying, is there certain cryptids you want covered, or are there certain supernatural phenomena you want covered? What exactly is it you guys are wanting or desiring? I've been more than glad to cover it. I just need to know. Believe me, this video is going to be put up on Facebook anyway, so he ain't got to answer right away. Not on Facebook, but YouTube and Facebook and all that. Yeah, of course, too. So, I mean, go ahead and comments, whatever, later on down the line, once this thing is done, of what you guys want covered. That way, I know what you guys like and what y'all want. That way, things can be taken care of. You know, this is a platform which is designed, of course, for entertainment mainly. So I'm just going to leave that there. No more, no less. That's all good. Also, anyone who's in the chat, spread the word. If anyone wants to join in or hop in, let them know. Go ahead and let them know what's going on. That way, they can come on if they desire to or not. That's up to them. I already know what I'm going to do for the next live show. I'm just kind of testing this out and seeing. Hey, what's going on, Dogman Watcher? Oh, hang on here. Damn phone. There we go. But anyway, I'm trying to see what exactly we can get covered when it comes to that. So Dogman Watcher, what exactly would you like covered in the future? Hmm? Hang on real quick. Got something going on here. Okay. Might have to reschedule that. Depends on what's going on. But anyway, Watcher. Okay, Watcher. What exactly is a Watcher? Oh, I'm not. My bad. I'm sorry. You saying you're acknowledging them. My bad. Okay, got you. So, what exactly, Dogman Watcher? What exactly would you like to see mentioned, if anything, when it comes to cryptids or paranormal? Curious on that. Hey, Snyder, I'm curious. What kind of cryptids do you have out in Hawaii anyway? Maybe you can tell me about that. That can actually give me something to work with. What kind of cryptids are out there in Hawaii that are especially, or supernatural phenomena? Okay, different types of dogman. I'll do that. I'm not an expert on that, but I will definitely put out what little I know about that. Definitely. That's actually, I haven't covered that yet. That's a good one. I will do that next time. That'll be my next topic. Really? Well, that makes sense. It's Hawaii. A lot of what you guys have revolves around the ocean, so that is. Do y'all had like mermaid sightings or anything like that, or was it more like monsters? Unknown sea creatures. So when I'm thinking of creatures, I'm thinking of monsters. Now I could be wrong on that. Or are they more humanoid creatures? Pterosaurs, yeah. I'm not surprised. Yeah, pterodactyls and stuff. I need to do something about that eventually. I might actually look into that. I've done one on flying cryptids before, but I might try to do a update to that. To be honest, have you all had like Bigfoot sightings out there in Hawaii? Real quick. Okay. Anyway, no, really. Okay, I'm gonna look that up myself because I'm now intrigued. Might be in. I'm looking it up. My internet's going a little bit better now. Huh. Okay. There's something called a Minahuni or something like that. Okay, let me take a look at this. Now I'm actually kind of intrigued on this. Dwarf people, race of dwarf people. Okay, kind of like little people. I think I need to do one about that. I haven't done one on little people yet that I know of. I think I will definitely. I've covered all kinds of stuff. I don't really. What did the tell me, Snyder? What they look like? I'm actually kind of curious about this. Are they like little hairy things or what? Hey, Roth. This live stream ain't gonna be very long. It's gonna be maybe until probably 6 o'clock. It's like 4:50. It's like 5:42 now, so maybe another 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, so this is kind of a short test live stream because the next one is going to be pretty soon, but it's also going to be. I'll go ahead and give it a heads up. It's going to be about giants. This one was kind of just done impulsively on the fly because I said I was going to put one out. So, what does a Menahuni look like? Hmm? Sounds almost like some of the. I know that the Aborigines in Australia. Pretty sure it did. I was gonna say I know the Aboriginals of Australia have similar descriptions of creatures that have invaded their dreams in the dream time and have kind of helped them with a lot of the knowledge that us human beings have. That's interesting. Okay, that's another one I'll be doing in the future. They look interesting. I'll give them that. Looking at different photos of them. Hang on here. So they seem to be tied to water, which is different than many. Hang on real quick. Let's see here. I'm gonna try something I ain't done before, so bear with me. Okay, let's see. Share. Okay, how do I share? Video file, slides. Okay, never mind. I'm thinking I can't share pictures on this thing easily, but I'll go ahead and kind of see what I can do with this. Hang on. Kind of like this, maybe. Goes like a pair of them. There we go. It's crazy. You never know. Also, look up something called, it's literally a primordial type of human being. It's a primordial primate that supposedly came before people as we are now, but it's called a hobbit. And I mean, I'm not talking about Lord of the Rings. It's literally called a, oh, nice. It's called a hobbit. It is literally a, so it's like literally a caveman or something, but it's not a Neanderthal or a Cro-Magnon or anything. It's literally something that's itty bitty, like almost like the pygmies in certain parts of, I want to say, Africa that can be found. So it's interesting. I mean, it's just crazy. Just how much weird stuff you can find without even meaning to. So I'm thinking that something definitely could be going on with that. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's offshoots of modern humanity running around even now. Like I said, look at the pygmy tribes. I want to say in Africa. I could be mistaken about that, but I think it's Africa. You have the pygmy tribes over there, and it's just, I mean, they obviously, they're every bit as smart as us, just different. So I'm just saying. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if something like that's going on in other places that just ain't really been acknowledged too much yet. Maybe, I mean, Hawaii is not really a big place that I know of, but I'm pretty sure there's all kind, especially with the water and all that. Maybe something. Oh wow, that right there is something supernatural. Then that ain't just either that or some kind of evolved ability that we ain't got. I mean, that right there is something that ain't the norm. Just to be able to vanish like that. I noticed a lot of folks have said that Bigfoot can seem to be able to do that. Dogman, of course, speaks for itself. Um, it's crazy. I mean, I'll be honest. If I saw something just vanish in front, actually, I take that back. I had something like that happen to me. Yeah, I understand that. It's the thing is, it's not very big. Oh, I know it's just a chain of islands. But here's the thing: it's like there's a lot of isolation, if you know what I'm talking about, until really a lot of more recent times. But you got to think about that. I mean, a lot of you have all kinds of indigenous tribes and stuff in Hawaii, and of course other islands that are close to it. I'll tell you what I saw. It wasn't anything like a cryptid. But it was something paranormal. I'll tell you that now. I had a neighbor. He was a good guy. I actually did a video about it a while back. This dude he was like, man, I need help. There's a big old freaking snake in my room, because I was living in a rooming house at the time. And so the old boy comes up to me and is like, I need help. And I'm like, okay. And I get a broom and I'm trying to hold the thing down. It wasn't poisonous or anything. It was just like a grass snake or so I thought. I'm trying to hold it down with a broom, and I had him get the dustpan. I'm about to sweep it in there, and that thing is gone. The thing is, this is a good sized snake. I mean, snakes can hide; they can. But we tore that room apart, moved the bed, moved the dresser, everything. That thing was gone. That's what I'm saying. It literally almost may as well have vanished in front of my eyes. As I looked, I turned my head. As I looked back, it was gone. It was just gone. I mean, I don't know. How the reason I'm saying I think it was paranormal is because that house was haunted. I mean, there was so much supernatural activity in there. I saw a fucking shadow man staring right at me as I was trying to sleep one time. Just no thank you. As I'm saying, it was a very mess up situation. It's a lot of crazy shit. Stuff that I really ain't too keen on repeating. And I am glad I am out of there. I ain't had nothing like that. I've had some weird stuff happen to an extent here where I'm living, but not too much. And it ain't been recent. So, as I say, the right kind of people reached out to me and helped me along with me just taking care of a little bit of business, if you know what I'm talking about, personal business. And things, I still have issues sometimes, but for the most part, that kind of foolishness is no longer a problem, thank God. So, like I said, I've never seen a cryptid. I've never seen anything like that, but I've had experiences with angels, demons, and in between. No, it's not at all. Here's the thing. I'll tell you, I'll go ahead and go in depth about that because it's nothing to hide or anything. It's nothing like, you know, anything too crazy. But I'll tell you, the place was built by a railroad for one. It was also not even a mile away from a very old graveyard. It was one of the oldest graveyards in Houston. A lot of soldiers and stuff like that. It passed, like I want to say, like I'm not going to say Confederate, but it's a possibility. A lot of old soldiers have passed away, and that house is near them. And also, a lot of people where I lived, there were, this place had a lot of transients that would come through. So you're talking about, you know, folks who are addicts, recovering addicts, mental illness, a lot of folk, and because it was all I could afford at the time. And the fact is, to be honest, in all seriousness, I ran into some individuals who were very, very tormented. Two individuals I came in contact with. One lady I knew fairly well. She was a nice lady. She freaking died. Uh, she drank herself to death, and I saw her taken out in a freaking body bag. That's one thing I never want to see again. My point is this: that kind of activity. There was another one that was a girl, young girl. I didn't know her very well. I just saw her a couple of times. She was found dead from an overdose in her house, in her room. So, I mean, my point is that things happen, and there's all kinds of weird attachments that happen from such events going down. So that's what I'm saying. It's just not. It's not good at all. And I think very firmly there was some negative attachments due to the tormented souls that had lived in that house. Possibly, maybe even a couple of spirits that hadn't crossed over. Who the hell knows? But it was a hot mess, I'll tell you that. A big time hot mess. It was not fun whatsoever. Just leave it at that. Would I willingly go through that again? No. But that's just how things are. So when it comes to paranormal, I know a fair bit about it because I've been through it. I mean, I've had my own soul yanked out of my body against my will, so trust me, it's not. Yes, I mean, I can answer that. I mean, no, that's a good question. It's a good one. I can answer with certainty. You better bet your ass they are. They feed off that energy. They're drawn to it because it's like literally. Uh, I mean, I'm just saying, it's like a crack addict drawn to crack. Mm-hmm. Very much so, Ralph. I don't know, but I just know that people. Thing is, a lot of times people with, yeah, definitely Snyder. Thing is, a lot of people practice certain things, whether whatever it is of the spiritual nature, entities, whether it be flesh and blood or beyond, sense that, and naturally they're going to be drawn to it. I don't know if it's like a all you can eat buffet. I think for the entities, yeah, like the spiritual ones, the demonic, hell yes, it speaks for itself. That's one thing I do know from experience. Yes, that is something that there ain't no denying. That's the truth because I've seen it. I've seen it too many times to say otherwise. I mean, you would have to really be. It would be hard. Hey, Blue. I was gonna say it'd be one heck of a thing to say that I ain't. Could change my mind on that. Ain't happening. Well, I'll tell you this right now. When it comes to flesh and blood creatures or creatures that may even be tied to the spiritual but are also flesh and blood, I don't know. I think mainly they're curious. To be honest, yes, you have some demonic creatures that definitely are, like I said, but I think also the majority of that's curiosity. This planet of Earth is much more than just human beings, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, even the Bible says about creatures that are not like, normal natural creatures, things that are, of course, it says they all acknowledge the creator, but the fact is that I think many things are created that we just don't understand. Hey, below. So I'm just saying, I think a lot of situations on that speak for themselves. That's just how it is. Also, hang on real quick. I'll go ahead and take care of a couple of things here. 1 second. Hang on. Hang on. If you guys want to help a guy get some smokes or whatever, we'll put in my cash app real quick. There we go. Hang on. There we go. I had to replace my air conditioner, so things were kind of, it's not a bad way. I'm just saying that I'm not broke by any means, and I should be fine in a couple of days. But I'm just saying that someone can help me get some smokes would be appreciated. Cash app. Let me go ahead and get my PayPal real quick. Hang on. PayPal information. Hang on. Here it is. Give me 1 second. But anyway, yeah, I've seen some really weird stuff. I've never seen a cryptid in my life, and the stuff I've seen, I don't think I want to be honest. But yeah, I think there's definitely some kind of how can I say this the best way? Yeah, here we go. Okay, my Cash App is at. Hang on. That's it right there. Open that one through. There we go. But yeah, yeah. What the hell now? Oh, thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that a lot. The hell, that'll help more than you know, buddy. Sorry about the cat. Sorry about the ice cream truck. I can't help that. But anyway, yeah, I really have seen a lot of stuff, but I've never seen a supernatural cryptid in my life. I've seen ghosts, demons, everything beyond. But yes, I think very firmly that negative entities are drawn to trauma, damaged individuals. Of course, it's like a all-you-can-eat buffet for them. They feed on the fear. But I have never seen a dog man. I have never seen a Bigfoot. I've heard things, but I've never encountered like face to face. But I'll tell you this right now: there is something that is going on, which, when it comes to people who are very spiritual, whatever their religion or craft is, I think they're curious. I think it draws whatever it is you're doing draws them, and they can sense that. Hang on real quick. I will be right back. Sorry about that. Just was some neighbors being a little nosy. But anyway, yeah. I was going to say, what do you guys think? Do you think that like cryptids and other type of entities are drawn to people who have either practiced magic or they have a very strong spiritual belief, or maybe even mentally damaged? What do you guys think? Hmm? I'd love to hear what y'all have to say. Oh, definitely, Ralph. No doubt about it in my life. In my mind, I mean, no doubt about that whatsoever. Negative entities are drawn towards that kind. Yeah, very much so. I think a lot of people who are broken, they seem to be whatever it is. People who are broken like that, they don't have the mental defenses that most people do to ward off such very negative things going on. They're human beings have a natural. Those of us who ain't damaged to the point of no return, there's some kind of what I call almost like a residual energy that they have, which provides some kind of minor defense against a lot of these entities. Hmm. Oh yeah, your mind and your. The thing is, this is one thing I used to think that these things were telepathic. Oh, definitely, alcohol definitely does, no doubt about it. Because again, they're curious. Um, that much I know. Curious. So naturally, they're going to be curious about what you're doing. Also, yeah, people don't understand. A lot of times when it comes to demonic manifestations, they love to feed on. Well, think about this. It says in the book, Lucifer, he can appear as an angel of light. Of course, he is an angel of light. My point is that he can appeal to the mind. Oh wow, that's crazy, dude. But yeah, I mean, I think it can. I mean, I think a lot of times, not always, but in a minor situation or a minor version. How can I say this the best way from brain to mouth? Bear with me. A small amount of these sightings, I believe very firmly, are demonic manifestations appearing to have, basically they're showing people what they want to see. Someone's obsessed with Dogman or Bigfoot. You're going to see that. And guess what? It's going to basically, you'll encounter more situations where you're terrified or traumatized. And of course, again, very evil entities are drawn to that. Plus, you have to understand, they don't read your mind. This is one thing I had to learn. Well, it was actually in the comments, just like I'm reading right now, that someone told me this, and it makes sense. I think I was on one of someone else's live show. I can't remember who it was, but it is that these things don't read minds; they read your soul. And the soul and the mind are a wee bit they're connected, but at the same time, your mind ain't always able to really understand what the soul's trying to say. But it's a lot quicker to access the soul than it is the mind, because the mind is kind of translating things into this brain box is kind of jumbled half the time. But the soul is another story entirely. These things can read your soul, so naturally they're going to be drawn to that. It might have been you that told me that, Rob. I can't remember. It might have been you. As a matter of fact, when I think about that, it was someone and that actually hit like a brick. I was like, you know what? That makes perfect sense. One of the worst situations I ever was in was a very bad one. Oh, really? And where is that, dog man watcher? Where is it that you saw a bunch of Civil War soldiers? You're talking about Confederate soldiers. Well, obviously, it was somewhere in the South, is what I'm guessing. I believe it. But anyway, I'll go ahead. Bear with me. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what it was. My encounter. I was in the hospital one time years ago, close to 5 years ago, I think by now. Anyway, I had family drop me off at the hospital because mentally I was, that was just my episode, one of those episodes where I just needed help, and they actually helped me out. The staff was, they were nothing but great to me. I had good food in the end. I mean, I had plenty of rest. I mean, it was just for maybe a day, but and everything else actually it helped me in more ways than one. There was one encounter I don't ever want to have again, and that was when I was trying to sleep. I was, you have to understand about hospital beds. They have those guardrails that come up. And so, anyway, this thing, I wake up and I see this thing that looks like a man of mist, and it's literally trying to suck energy from like smoke from my face, my nose, my mouth, maybe even my eyes. I don't know. But I saw this thing literally sucking all this stuff out of me, and it wasn't good. Oh, okay, got you. Okay. So anyway, this thing is trying to suck. I don't know what it was trying to do to me, but I could not wake up. I couldn't. I was awake. I couldn't move. At least I couldn't tell it to go away. I didn't have that authority. So what I did was I kicked the guardrail on the bed, and some member of staff came in and woke me. I mean, they were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And it woke me up. And of course, I wasn't going to tell them that some thing was trying to suck out whatever it was, like life force, whatever the hell it is, from me or whatever. I wasn't dumb enough to tell them that. That's when I told them I had a bad dream. They were like, "Oh, okay," and it didn't come back. Thank God. And I haven't had that encounter again ever since. But I'll tell you right now, that is something that scared the bejesus out of me. That right there. I also put a video on that one too. I think it's called The Man of Mist or some crap like that. But either way, it was not, wasn't fun at all. So I'll tell you guys, I've seen a few things. And again, it was drawn to the negativity that was going on within me at the time. I can tell you that now. This is how I know these things. I don't just believe it. I know because I've had it happen. And this shit that I never asked to have happen at all. Believe me. Just saying. Never asked for it. Didn't want it. You can have it. Well, leave it at that. Extremely, extremely. The thing is, hospitals, of course, there's a lot of people that go through a lot of things there, and you also have different individuals. Think about it. Hospital is where sick people go to get well. So naturally, you're going to have a lot of. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of positive things there, but you have a lot of things connected to death too, because a lot of people die there. Hmm. I believe that too, Ralph. Definitely. But I'm just saying, hospitals are drawn. I mean, of course, entities are going to be drawn to that. I mean, especially with the amount of trauma and death and stuff that happens there, or even hope, things like even good things, like people getting better, hope, uh, families, kind of getting together to help the one that they care about, recover. I've seen kind of both, but of course, the human mind is programmed to remember the negative over the positive in order to, survival mechanism. Bear with me. Let's see. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. John Twoman. Thank you. Thank you very much. It is appreciated. Yeah, what I was going to say is, no, definitely. That's a given. Demonic entities or activity, of course, is going to come at your lowest point because that's what they feed on. That's what they want. Hell, they don't want they just don't want to snatch your soul. They just want, they don't want your soul as company. They want your miserable soul as company, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, of course. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, it's funny now, but when it's going down with you, it ain't at all. What's so freaking ever? No, sir. Thanks, Mom. What I was going to say is, uh, well, pretty much I really ain't got much more to say on that. It's just things that have gone on with me have been They just bend sometimes. You know what I mean? The closest thing to a crypt. Okay, let's see what this is. I ain't trying to blow you guys off. I get a lot of messages related to work, different things too. This wasn't one of them. Okay, so I guess the thing is, like I said, I've seen a lot of stuff, and I even saw stuff when I was younger too. My mom, she had a short period of, how can I say this? When I was a young boy, I'm not talking like a child, but like a teenager. Mom got into a real bad situation. At this time, how can I say this the best way? We, my biological father was not, they were just divorced. My biological father was causing a lot of despair for everyone. This stuff I ain't gonna get into right now. But I'll tell you this: she turned to witchcraft as a coping thing, I guess. It was foolish, of course, but in the end, when you're desperate and afraid, you turn to things that you shouldn't. And a lot of things, unfortunately, got passed to me, I think, especially after she died. But I'll tell you right now, there are things I would see. She hated violence in any way, shape, or form. So it's weird. We lived in this old trailer, which used to belong to her father, my grandpa. He passed away and it was left to her. So anyway, I'll get to the point. This trailer, when we were living at, I might like to watch action movies and stuff just like I do now. I've always loved, I'm a guy, I love guy things, naturally, I'm going to watch stuff like that. But whenever there'd be a gunfight or something like that, didn't matter which TV I was watching it through, it would turn off all on its own. So whatever she was dealing with was definitely trying to make sure that there was no violent scene. It's weird like that. So even when I was a boy, I was seeing things that weren't normal. I've seen a man walk across my TV screen after I recorded a show. And the thing is, I think that may have not been paranormal, but it sure felt weird, if you know what I mean. I think that may have been an after image of something else I'd recorded before. But I'm just saying, it seemed like a dude was literally walking across the screen. It was just really screwed up. Weird. All I can say. I've had people ask me if I've had a cryptid experience. No. I've had people ask me if I wanted to have a cryptid experience. The answer is a mixed one. Yes and no. I believe enough that these creatures exist, but would I like to see something like, yeah, exactly. Dabbling is something is just plain old fashioned foolishness. Yeah, very much so. But I'll tell you this: when it's come to seeing any type of cryptid, I would actually like to, but at the same time, I would rather be very. I would not want to do it on my own. I'd rather be around someone who knows what the hell they're doing for an encounter like that, because honestly, something can go bad so quick and so easily if you ain't careful. That I do know. Oh, it's very much the truth. People who dabble. I'm not trying to sound harsh or cruel. But people who dabble need to be careful, because I've come across some who are just, God forgive me, basically it's just stark raving morons. There was one time me and a family member where I was hanging out with him on his job. He was like, I mean, anyway, me and him were just talking, in his car. He was doing security, and he goes up to the top roof, because he's doing patrols and shit like that in his car. So I'm looking around with him. They're like, Wes, take a look at this over there. I'm like, okay. He's like, you stay in the car. I didn't get out. I did not, because I wasn't going to put him or his job at risk. But I'll tell you right now, he had these two girls, very stupid girls, uh, doing a seance. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. And my family member is fairly knowledgeable when it comes to the paranormal himself. He's had his own experiences and his own encounters. Just gonna leave it at that. Not putting no more business out there like that. But I'll tell you right now, he knows what he's seen. And at the time, sometimes he knows what he does, if you know what I'm talking about. And he, of course, when he saw that, number one, he told them, get the hell off. Clean all that mess up. get off the, I mean, either go home or get off the property. It's, this isn't good. But either way, I don't really know what followed up, but I know they had them two girls at a very bad situation that followed them after that. Just a series of bad luck events that got their butts evicted from that, from that apartment complex. So, I mean, you really, really, really have to think about what you do. Yeah. Speaking of that same individual, while mentioning, his dumb butt decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and look at a book, forbidden manuscript. And the answers he got traumatized him so bad, it still messed him up, probably in some ways. If you don't know anything about it, or you want to be impulsive about it, don't do it because it's stupid. It's also a good way to get yourself killed. I'm just saying, just leaving that out there. You want to dabble in something you ain't supposed to be, you go ahead and be an idiot, but do it away from me because I ain't wanting no part of it. Some things you leave alone. See, I never really thought about authority too much, Ralph, because I mean, you already know. For the most part, I'm primarily Christian in my beliefs. I never thought about the authority too much. I mean, of course, what you have in the, in the name of Christ, or the Father, the Son, the Spirit, I understand those. So it makes sense what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you right now, dude, uh, I've never really thought about authority, but it makes logical sense. But like I said, I've never really, here's the thing, I've never actually sought out, I mean, not in any, how can I say this the best way? I've never sought anything of that nature in any kind of damn it, trying to speak the right way with any real efforts. When I was a kid, I was curious about things and all that, but even then, as a grown man, I have not really dabbled. I mean, not like that. I mean, have I practiced in the past like divination? I admit that, yes. It got me in some trouble. But anything beyond like tarot or anything without knowing what I'm doing, no. Now, I don't even go to psychic readings. I mean, that stuff is just stuff to me that if you don't know what you're doing or you connect with something, you can get in some serious trouble. The way I see it, I leave anything I do with the Lord, and that's it. No more, no less. I'll play around with that. Yes, definitely going into anything without authority. It makes sense what you're saying, Ralph. I think it can even not just irritate the entity you're trying to fuck with, it can also offend them. And when you offend something, what's it going to do? It's going to let you know about it. It's like with witch boards. A lot of these idiots go out there with these stupid Ouija boards and want to do something and get in trouble because they're just, whatever it is they're trying to reach out to, they think it's a toy. And guess what? You're dealing with something. Let's say you reach out to something that may be older than time itself. You think it's going to appreciate being disrespected? No. It's like, oh, you think I'm something for your amusement? No. You know what, buddy? I'm going to play with you for mine. And that is not good. It's just that simple. People risk offending, and I'm just saying, not good. Not good at all. So, I mean, also, here's something else about the Ouija boards. Oui is yes in French, and ja is yes in German. It's like saying, yes, go ahead and pay me a visit that I ain't wanting. People don't understand just how these people just don't understand just how quickly some of these entities will lie to you. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, you done all right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Of course. No, thank you. Hell no. There's no way. You just don't mess with things like that. You don't. Now, on the other end, I think a person does need to have an open mind. I think they need to natural. To me, curiosity is not a good. Curiosity is simply a desire to understand. That's what curiosity can be, or to. It's not always about I got to know about forbidden knowledge or anything like that, and I got to do this or whatever and get in a lot of trouble. That ain't it. Exactly. But in all seriousness, a desire to know or knowledge is not a bad thing. think on this. And I'm not, you guys, I mean, those who know me know I ain't Catholic at all, but I'll tell you right now, there is one thing I think that they have done, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, there's a lot of stuff in the Catholic Church that I do not approve of, but this is one thing I don't think is bad. Many times they will seek out knowledge in certain texts, manuscripts, and they seal it away. Okay, that's all good. They're trying. I see what they're trying to do. Now, in some cases, I think maybe there are certain individuals who are doing things not for any good, but maybe for their own seeking of power. But at the same time, I think that what they are doing is the best way to combat evil, or the best way to get exactly. There's a The thing is, a lot of organizations. It's smart, if you ask me. What's the best way to stop evil or to handle a kind of situation? You got to know about it. That's the thing. You have to be able, in some ways, people who have, you're talking about authority. Many of these individuals are trained, probably from childhood up, have authority. They know what they're doing. I mean, think about this. A true exorcist. I'm not talking about some moron that, you know, is like some keystone idiot. I'm not talking about that. Who would probably get you more killed than anything else. We're talking about, let's say, someone who really knows what they're doing. I mean, I know, John Constantine. That's kind of a cliche, but at the same time, it's kind of an example which may not be too far from the truth. That dude knew what he was doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He also understood that sometimes certain things have to be dealt with in order to keep it from causing a lot of problems. So I don't necessarily think the seeking of knowledge is bad. It depends a lot of times on what your intent is. But also you have to know and respect what you're dealing with. That's what so many people don't do. And that right there is what causes so much problems for people. They don't respect it. Exactly. I don't either. I'll tell you this. Think on How can I say this the best way? Something else to really think on. I'm gonna have to shut it down pretty quick, but I'm gonna go ahead and bring this one thing up. When it came to individuals in the Bible, many of this was during the time of, if I remember right, this was after the time of Christ. These false prophets or whatever, they were trying to cast out demons, and this demon responds. He's like, "Yeah, I know who Christ is. Oh, I know about him very well. Thing is, you don't." And so basically, this poor dumbass either gets oppressed or possessed by the exact same thing he was trying to freaking cast out of the individual that was being tormented to start with. You just, again, it's about respect. Even as awful as whatever it is that possessed that dude because he was a moron, that entity knew who Jesus was and it respected him and obviously feared him justifiably. I'm just saying, you really got to think on these things, man. It's about respect and just the fact you don't draw, there's a line, you don't draw it, pass it. You just don't. And that attitude will keep you alive as well as doing better in life. That's one thing I found out. I've had the last couple of months, I've really had to change the way I do things. But at the same time, it's provided me with a wee bit more understanding of things. Just gonna leave that, as that, if you know what I mean. But that's just neither here nor there. I'm gonna go ahead and end this right now because unfortunately I got a couple of things I need to do. But I appreciate everyone who decided to participate. I appreciate everyone who sent something. I appreciate that beyond words. Thank you so much for that. And pretty much at this point, I'm going to go ahead and end this. How long? Hold on. Let me go ahead. How long has the battle between good and evil been going on? Man, it's been going on since beyond the human concept of time. To be honest, human beings don't. Time is. Here's the thing. This is something which many people don't get. Time, quote unquote, time, is a man-made concept. These entities exist outside of it. That don't mean, I mean, of course they understand time. I'm not saying they don't. My point is that our version of time and what matters to them ain't the same. You're talking about entities that have been around since long before mankind, long before. No problem, Ralph. what I was saying is, these creatures, it's not a matter of since thousands of years or more, it's since the beginning of time. This battle has been going on since time, I want to say, not too long after the time the Lord said, "Let there be light." I'm just going to say it like that, Exactly. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here, but I appreciate everything. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.